While I didn't kill anybody yet, I did jack some KVs up, like a KV up, going right for the turret ring. Nice! In the front on the turret ring. So I'm getting some... Hey everybody, welcome back to dungeongurunet. This is nethervoid, also known as John. Got another great strategy series for you this week. This time it's going to be on the AMX 12t. A lot of people have been asking about this tank, obviously because the French tanks just came out. So I'm really pushing hard to get you a lot of these French ones right out of the gate here. I have the B1 fully upgraded. I just haven't had it. I'll probably do that one next week or the week after. In fact, I've got a lot of tier 4s and stuff I need to get out of the way and clear them out of my garage. But anyway, let's get back into the 12t here. The 12t, let's get right into playstyle. The playstyle on this thing is a little weird. It's kind of, you know how I always say that the KV13 is kind of, I'm sorry, the KV1S is kind of in the middle between a medium and a heavy. Well, this tank is kind of in the middle between a light tank and a medium tank as far as, I'm sorry, a light tank and a scout. Or a medium tank play and a scout. And by that, what I'm saying is it's got a lot of the speed of a scout, and it can get into position really well, and it can hide really well. But the problem really is its traverse. It's not does not have a great traverse like the T50 or T50-2 or any of those scout tanks. But it does make a pretty good scout. What it does trade off for traverse, it does have a decent gun for its tier. It's not the greatest, but it's I don't want to get too far into it, but it's a pretty decent gun. Especially with this really cool magazine, six round magazine that it has, where you can punish a guy, you know, like boom, boom, you know, 6 shots almost in a row. That's pretty awesome. And we'll get into that in a little bit. I just wanted to go over the general playstyle. So the way I play this tank is I try to help my team, especially if I'm toward the bottom of the pack, which in a tier 5 you'll find yourself in a lot of the time. I try to help my team by rushing up, kind of getting into a scout position, but not to an advanced of a scout position, because I can't get out of there as easily as a scout tank can. So I'll try to get up and get kind of close and hide a little bit, and I think I show you that in a couple of videos where I'm just trying to really just pop out a little bit and scout, and then I can kind of get out of there if I have to. But I also want to try to get some shots in with my gun. The whole point of the scouting is kind of just to scout and let my buddies creep up and find great positioning and start engaging those other tanks so that I can possibly get a flank move in on those guys. This is a decent flanking tank. It does not circle very well just because it does not, its traverse speed is not good enough, I don't think, to circle people. It's only got 38. It's okay. I mean, it's decent, but plus it just doesn't turn fast enough. If it traversed faster, it would be a much better flanking tank. But it is good for rushing right in when somebody's engaged with somebody else and flanking like that. But one-on-one, it's not the greatest. It can't circle very well. So that's kind of the general playstyle of this tank. Is I kind of rush up a little bit, try to find a kind of a good scout spot, which is kind of hard for me because I'm not used to playing scouts and getting a little better. And kind of be the eyes for the team a little bit. As you can see, I've got a camo net. I've had this on all my games. And I also have this, really I should put a binocular on here. I just wanted to show it to you. But that way you can get your view range up and do some scouting, and then possibly going for the flank when your friendlies start to move up. So that's a general play style. Let's go over some details here. 430 hit points. That's not that much. With the armor that you see here, you're going to get hit every time someone shoots at you. The front armor, I don't know, it's not that good. Almost every shot from a tier 5 anyway is going to come right through that armor. Hole and turret on the side and back, forget about it. You're getting hit. It might as well not even have any armor. So 430 hit points goes down really quickly because you don't bounce hardly any shots. The 250 engine horsepower on 12 tons is not enough. It gets up to speed okay, but the acceleration's not that great. I really wish it had like a 300 horsepower, maybe even 350. But the top speed is pretty good at 60. You get up to the 50s pretty easily if you stay, you know, driving in the same direction and stuff. The problem really is with this tank, a lot like the PZ4, while it has decent top speed and it can get up to the top speed, it has kind of not great acceleration and not really that great at traverse. So that's why it's kind of an odd tank to play, and you have to kind of get used to it. The rest of this turret traverse is really good at 50. I mean, you never have a problem with the turret. The view range at 420 is actually pretty decent. It's not that bad, and with the binocs, you get up to about 480. That makes it actually a pretty good scout tank, and I kind of wish I had those binocs. That would have made things a lot easier. Again, I'm going to skip weak points. Well, the whole tank. Shoot anywhere on the tank, you're going to hit it. So let's go over modules. Here's the one thing that kind of doesn't make it a very good scout tank is because it's only got a 410 meter radio as the top radio. Obviously get it. You need at least 400 meters. A lot of times my friendlies will fall off the map because I don't have enough radio, and neither do they, to talk to one another. So even though you might have a great view range, that's probably why you need more view range, really, because you can't get that close to radio enough information back. So I don't know, I wish it had a bigger radio. The tracks, really all you get out of the tracks are the 2 degrees per second. You don't need the tracks to, you can fully upgrade this whole tank and load all the modules without ever upgrading the tracks. The only reason I need the tracks here is to put this camo net on, and I'm not sure about that telescope. Nah, just the camo net, because it does weigh quite a bit oh, that's it, 100 kilograms. So I probably need it for both, to be honest. But anyway, without any equipment, you can do this whole thing without the tracks. I do like the tracks because as a scout flanker tank, you do need to traverse. You can't rely on your gun to earn you credits and just shoot people in the front like you can with a lot of other tanks, mainly heavies. So you probably need to get those tracks, and we'll go over that in a minute. The engine upgrade, 50 horsepower is a big upgrade. It's still not enough, but it helps a lot. It does okay. Getting up to top speed is nice, but it does take a little while. You kind of have to get a running start. I'm not sure if I got any video footage with me getting a running start, but it does help to back up a little bit and then, give yourself a little room to hit a little more speed before you break out of cover. There is only one turret on this thing. 40, 20, 20 is horrible. 50. This is the only thing that's nice about it, is the 50 degrees per second. Nobody's ever going to flank you or get around you or circle you. You've got great turret traverse. The one thing I might as well talk about now, the vertical traverse on this thing is just not that great. Yeah, the depression's not very good, and you also cannot look up very well. You have to angle your tank kind of just by driving the tank to get a shot on people. This thing does not move up and down hardly at all, and that's really probably the biggest crutch on this tank. And I'm not sure, you'll probably see a little bit of that when I'm doing one of the videos where I might be showing it down here right now, where I'm doing some scouting. Is you really need to be on flat terrain, and the enemy needs to be on flat terrain. On the hilly maps, this tank can be very hard to aim on. It gets your sights on the enemy. The guns, they're okay for a tier 5. I mean, they're not that great. The first gun is the one off the AMX 40. At 74 pen, at least you can pen some people. It's not as bad as like the B1 with the 50 penetration. But you're definitely going to want to get the first gun almost immediately, as soon as you can. And the 108 pen is really nice, and the damage doesn't go up, but that doesn't really matter. But any extra pen you can get, it does pretty good on the side and the back on most tanks and stuff, and you really should be flanking with this tank. So this is a decent gun. It's not great, but it's not bad either. I wasn't shooting myself in the face like with this B1. Having a gun that cannot pen anybody is just frustrating. So I'm glad that it has at least a decent gun. So those are the modules. Let's do some research. So here we are on the research tree, and the only thing you will have researched when you come into this tank is the radio. So you can throw that on immediately. So the first thing I would recommend getting is, I'd probably just get the tracks, because you need as much traverse as you can. You need to be able to flank guys. You're not going to be able to hit them. Even if you get this first gun with a 100 pen, it's going to be really hard to pen people. Also because in a tier 5 you get thrown into, especially with a light tank, you get thrown into a lot of tier 8 and 9 games just because they consider you kind of a scout. So having the extra the tracks like that's going to help you scout. It's going to help you flank people. It's going to help you do a little, get behind the enemy lines and stuff like that. So I recommend getting tracks first. And then I would just go straight off to the engine, because it's about half as much as the gun. That gets your mobility up really good and helps you to scout. And that's probably going to be your primary XP, is going to be scouting. That's what I was trying to do anyway, and it seemed to work pretty good. So get the tracks, the engine, and then start going for this gun line. Obviously all the way up the gun line, and unlock the whole thing. Once you get this whole thing unlocked, it's not a horrible tank. It's just, for me, it was really hard just to learn how to play this. If you're not used to playing a scout tank, it takes a while to learn how to play this tank, and so that's what I really worked on. The tank actually isn't that bad, and I really can't wait to play the tier 6 and tier 7 versions of this tank, because with the mobility I've seen in the game replays that I've seen, it's amazing, and so that's going to make this tank insane. So you really need to learn the style of this tank early before you get into those other tanks and get super frustrated. That way when you get those other tanks, you're going to be a beast. So again, this tank is the ultimate flanking style of tank. You're not going to want to shoot anybody in the front. Always try to get around them. Use it to scout a little bit. Wait for your buddies to move up, then pop out and flank people. That's pretty much how you play this tank. So let's talk about the research. It's really simple. It's going to show up on the side here, the priority, and let's get back to my account. And we're back. So now we're on equipment. Now, I did throw a camo net on this thing because I can move it around for 0 gold, and I did get a bunch of camo nets for 50,000 when the equipment was half off. So that's a good investment, especially when you have a tank you're trying to scout with. You want to get behind a bush, don't move, just sit there, let the bush bonus kick in, like the camo net bonus kick in, and really just try to scout for your team. And you're going to get quite a bit of XP for doing that, for being the first person to scout the enemy team and not being too far away that you can radio the information back. I really wish I would have had these binocs, but I had them on the low at the time. I really should have put these binocs on if you do have a pair. They're a little expensive, but if you got them on half off, they're about $250. You can move them around between tanks for free. Does not cost gold. Those are great. Another great addition for a scout tank like this one. The third thing I get would be the gun laying drive, because this thing has a really horrible accuracy. I didn't even look at it, but it's really bad. 0.37 is it's just horrible. The aim time is not too bad, but the accuracy is bad, and so you can't. When you're driving around, you can't shoot anybody. You got to stop, and then you got to wait for the aim time, which is not great. So I really would recommend the laying drive if you don't mind putting a piece of equipment on that you have to spend some gold to get that sucker off. If you don't want to spend gold, just throw a toolbox on there. You're going to get tracked and stuff. You're not going to get one shot as often because you will be going up against some lower tiers, and so having a toolbox would be nice. But again, the laying drive would be better. So for ammo, you have to put your ammo in batches of 6, because each magazine holds 6 rounds. So I did 30 AP and 6 HE. I was kind of afraid I'd run out of HE, but I really haven't had that problem, mainly because I'm flanking. I'm trying to get penetrating shots from the side and back, and you really need to just really look for those sweet spots with these AP rounds from the back and sides. You're still going to ding a lot, but try to get those hits. Since this thing does fire fast, and I tend to reload that magazine when I'm just sitting around not doing anything behind a bush, I hit C to reload the magazine. If I've shot a couple rounds, you do tend to go through the ammo a little bit quicker because this thing can shoot very quickly. So 30 AP rounds was about good. If I switch to 12 HE, now I'm down to 24 AP rounds, and I'm 2-to-1 ratio. I'm going to run out of AP, is what I was finding. For my consumables here, tier 5s and 6, I only put the repair kits. I generally would repair my tracks because this is a scout tank, so sitting still is going to get you killed. So I use this mainly to repair tracks. I also would repair the gun because, again, it's such a horrible shot that it's nice when you can pen people. The 110 damage will help you get credits and stuff, especially since you'll see in the video I almost take out a couple KVs. Even though they're only tier 5s, it really did help to have, the extra damage and stuff. And repairing my gun helped a lot because it's such a pain in the butt. But anyway, so that's this whole thing. The crew will look about like this. I think it was about 65 to 70% when I did unlock everything, and now I'm grinding up for the the 1375, and it takes a little bit of XP to get there. 28,000. I'm out 9,000. It takes a while, so you're going to be in this tank for a while. I'm probably going to get to 85% before I get rid of this crew or move this crew to the next tank. Maybe even 90. I'm not really sure, because it does tend to be hard to get good games in these scout tanks because it's more about luck and not as much about your skill with pop-out game, etc. So anyway, that's this tank. Let's get into a game. So here I am spawned on Camp Kanovka, and normally this is really not a great map. It's not very fun usually, but in this tank it can be a lot of fun, and you're about to see why it can be a lot of fun. So in this tank, and I guess I'm sure in the tier 6 and 7 versions of this tank, I'm going to have a lot of fun on this map, I can tell. So here I am just loading. Let's move up in this position here. Everybody's talking about charging on the left. So we're going to see what we can do with that. We got a few of the 2 12 tons, and we got the 1975. So we should be able to do some pretty good damage. So just waiting. I think we're going to go with the 13. Alright. So we're waiting until the 13-minute mark. And this is something... I think you saw me do it already in the other video while I was talking in the garage. I did move up on the left there. It's pretty good for scouts to start scouting the other team enough to where your team on this side can just snipe them. I mean, that's the whole point. So, but with what we're going to do here is we're going to overwhelm them on the left. We're going to wait till a lot of their team goes up the hill. And this works generally with a more medium to light focused team. As you can see, we actually do have lots of mediums and lights. And that 1975 is going to be a real big help as far as this push. We've got a scout up here. Let's see what we've got. A scout over here. The heck is he anyway? Oh, and a 38 NA. Yeah, whatever. Let's get a scout. It's a little boring right here. These kind of flank style tanks and stuff, you have to have a lot of patience and wait for your time to know when to go, you know, and wait for that perfect opportunity, because you can't just steamroll up side, you know, like a heavy. You can't just start driving and, you know, drive right up in their face and the whole time it's action. You actually have to have some patience. So while I don't mind having patience in games, I don't like just sitting around not doing anything. I mean, that's not fun in any game. So here we are. We're going to make our little move here. A lot of times what you need to do on this kind of a move is the lighter tanks move out first, or the faster tanks. You can see I'm slowing down a little bit to help hopefully get that T14 more in the mix. Protect my flank a little bit because it is super soft. Then as I dip down, I just kind of leave them in the dust because I don't want to get shot at this point. So we got a Stug, KV, about to get roasted. Two 12 tons, me and the other guy are in position now. You're dead. So here's where I jack this KV up pretty good. This tank can do pretty well. Just shoot right there, see on the upper part of the side armor. And you can now see, this is where the accuracy is showing its true colors. Plus my crew is only at 70. So it's not going to be, that great. If I had 100% crew, I probably would have got a lot more hits on these guys. So I'm reloading the magazine. You can see it reloads pretty slow. It's a little slower than a regular loading gun. I mean, especially for tier 5, this is actually pretty slow. But then again, I get 6 rounds again before I have to reload again. So now I'm going to hide behind this guy, which is I advise because my armor is so weak. Let's go for that Tiger soft armor here. Let's see if what we can do. Bounce, no good. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit this guy. Ooh, I did get a track on him, so that's good. And since he's tier 7, I should get a lot more XP for that kind of a shot. Not more credits, just more XP. So it looks like we're going to lose this game because, obviously we have less tanks than they do. Actually, we're down by 3 right now. Here's a good target for this tank, because this guy has really weak armor. I did not hit him there because my accuracy is so bad in this thing. Reloading the whole magazine, didn't get a shot on him. It sucks. So while I didn't kill anybody yet, I did jack some KVs up, a KV up, going right for the turret ring. Nice! In the front on the turret ring. So I'm getting some lucky shots right here. Normally those shots probably wouldn't go through on this KV, but I'm getting some lucky shots. One shot from that guy could almost take me out. And I'm lucky he got killed, because that would have at least put me down to like 50 hit points or something, or maybe if I was lucky, 80 hit points. So we're in danger of being capped because we don't have overwhelming odds. I do decide, let's go back for the cap. I'm a fast-moving tank. It's what I should be doing as a fast-moving tank. Let the other slower tanks cap the base while I go back for the enemy. At this point, it doesn't look like well, we do have the T25, so although he is getting flanked right there, I think. So it's good that I'm going back, but look at this, on the move. This is where the laying drive would have came in really handy, because on the move, with the crew the way it is, just not going to happen. So this guy does get taken out right there by the T25. So now that our base is secure, it's time to go back. And this is where you can see the top speed. The turning is pretty bad. You can see the turning there is pretty bad. But watch how it gets up to top speed. It does okay with its acceleration. Now I'm up to about 45, so that's pretty good. Top speed 60. You're not going to really get that on flat land, but it will do it downhill. I wonder if eventually I get up there. No, about 50 is about the max. So reloading the canister while I'm moving, that's always a good thing to do with this tank. Get into a new position if you're reloading the magazine. So I'm just trying to look for some sweet kills. Even though we're only up one tank, I'm pretty sure that we're going to win. They do have a Stug. That Stug can ruin your day if he gets to hide all day. So I was trying to spot him right here. I did spot him. And if he was hiding a little more, like in the forest, it would have been a lot... Oh, nice! He's dead. And that's it. Game over now because the Stug was pretty much their only hope. Now, if he was hiding in the forest, he might have been able to kill us a little easier. That's probably what I would have done if I was him. Maybe move up to spot a little bit, let the arty take him out. As you can see, I can't move up enough to get a shot on this guy. He's on a hill, I can't hit him. And that's where this tank just sucks. Because that's as high as I can move my turret. Which is not much at all. It's, I don't know, it's just a tiny bit, maybe half the circle. So, there's a lot of times where I can't shoot a tank because they're on a hill. Now I'm looking for the last arty. I'm scouting because I know we got this in the bag. I want to get as much XP as possible. And I only have one kill. It's kind of usually... I either usually get 4 kills or 0. It's not really like I get 1 usually, but... See, can't hit him again. Now I'm going to use the hill a little bit. Okay, now I can hit him. Let's see what I can do to this guy. Nice. Get the kill shot. The other guy got it. I must have missed. So that's this tank in a nutshell. That great flanking, showing you some flanking there. 750 point game. Did okay. Obviously no medals. I damaged a few guys. I did detect that. I did find that arty. I'm surprised I didn't detect the Stug, but I guess somebody already just detected him probably previously. So destroyed the Stug. That was a good hit. That kind of sealed the deal for us. And this is a decent game. It's really hard to get good games in this tank. So you're gonna have to just live with it. The tier 6 is a lot better, and I kind of can't wait to get into the tier 6. I did make a lot of credits on this game, but look, this is gonna drop your accuracy a lot playing this tank because it shoots very quickly and the accuracy is horrible. So your aiming percentage is gonna go down. This is another reason why stats are just not the end all be all. But whatever. All right, see you guys next time. Like or comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want more French tanks or what. I have some more coming up. And I'm going to try to get rid of a bunch of low tier tanks in the next couple of weeks. So I need to clear them out of my garage. So see you next time, guys.